What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so we're back for my final mock draft. Yes, it's draft day. Happy draft day to all. It's like Christmas. I'm loving it. It's just great. So this is my final draft. I'm including trades in here. A lot of this is gonna be more so predictions. So it's not gonna be really well, I'll give you my take, but it's not gonna be really my call on this. Is just gonna be a lot of the rumors I've heard and kind of what I've kind of took as maybe fact and the rest as probably, you know, smoke and mirrors. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. I'll be on here later today for the live stream. We're doing it all 3 days of the draft, and that'll just be a bunch of fun. So come, it's just a watch along. So we'll be just kicking it, enjoying it, having a good time. So without further ado, let's get through this. I'll kind of talk about the picks as they come, and I'll talk about the trades as well. And let's start with Joe Burrow. It's kind of common sense for the Bengals. It's gonna be Joe Burrow. I can't see any other way. The Redskins, they have been trying to trade out of that pick. I mean, even late last night, it was talking about Atlanta was trying to trade up to 2 to get Chase Young, but it looks like that kind of fell through. So Redskins, they'll go ahead, they'll select Chase Young next at 3. The Dolphins, they're trading up. They're trading their third pick and the number 26 pick to get. Wait, no, they were trading the fifth. There we go, the 5th pick and the 26th pick to get the number 3 pick. They will also pick up the 85th pick from the Lions. A lot of this talk about the Dolphins trying to trade up for an offensive tackle because they really like one. I think part of that is true. They're really trying to trade up, but I don't think it's going to be for an offensive tackle. Last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of negative reports about how the Dolphins don't like Tua. Oh, and then Herbert kind of jumps into the equation, which I think that one is a bit true. But I don't believe, why would they be like, hey, we're trading up for, we really want an offensive tackle. We really want to jump the Giants, so let us in. No, they're trying to be slick. They're trying to make a move on Tua. So in this, I have them making that move. The Giants, they go ahead, get Jedrick Wills. He's kind of the hot name right now. That's kind of been sourced to the Giants. Him and Andrew Thomas. I guess after the Mekhi Becton stuff with the flagged drug test, I don't think it'll hurt his stock, but I just can't see him going here. And I really haven't seen anything since the combine on Tristan Wirfs. So they go ahead, they go with Jedrick Wills. At 5, here we are with the Detroit Lions. They have they're going for Jeffrey Okudah. He's a monster. He's one of the best press corners in this draft. He is probably one of the most mocked guys to the Lions, up there with Burrow and Young. So we're just going to keep going there. Like I said, this is more predictive. Tristan Wirfs, he comes off the board to the Chargers. I mean, a lot of word is that, which this could be smoke and mirrors, is the Chargers, they just don't like Herbert. I don't know if that's all necessarily true, but I do think they will end up passing on they'll pass on quarterback here if it's not Tua. And then the Panthers, rumor they were trying to trade down. I couldn't find a trade partner for them, so I went ahead with Isaiah Simmons. This is just a great pick here. I don't want to put it on him too much that, you know, he's the next Luke Kuechly, but I love what he can do for a defense. Just all the different all the different variations you could use him as in the slot, at safety, in the box. It's phenomenal. You can have him come in on a blitz. I just really trust Phil Snow when it comes to that. And then here's the trade. Atlanta, it's just been rumored they're trying to trade into the top 10. So I have them trading up to the 8th pick. Carolina, they're going to get the 16th pick and the Atlanta's 2nd round pick. 7th round pick. Wow. 2nd round pick. So CJ Henderson, he's the hot name here for Atlanta. And he's really been moving up, or he's really had a ton of momentum coming into this draft, saying, oh, now he's a top 10 pick. Sounds like that might be the case. I don't know if Atlanta still will try to go through with the trade, but I think Arizona's pick is kind of going to be, if they want to trade to the top 10, that's probably going to be the only way they want to do it. I can't see the Giants wanting to trade that far back. And then on to the next picks, and we'll get to that Chiefs one because this is a bit interesting. But Derek Brown, it's kind of to the Jags. It's Jags rumored they want to trade up. They could maybe with the Giants, but if they don't, if they stay put, I think Derek Brown's the pick here. It just sounds like something the Jags would do. We suck at the run. We need to address the run. Derek Brown's probably the best run defender in this draft. And then Henry Ruggs going to the Chiefs. The Chiefs trade up with the Cleveland Browns. Now, this deal, pretty good. The Browns, they would receive the Chiefs' first round pick, so the 32nd pick, and Chris Jones. I say the Chiefs, the Browns are going to receive that. But the Chiefs, they're going to get this pick. They're also going to get the 47 or the 41st pick, the second round pick of the Browns. So this is kind of cool that, yes, the Browns, they got to ditch their second round pick, but they're going to be picking at the bottom of the first round, and they bring in Chris Jones. It's just a solid trade, and they could honestly continue to trade back if they want to. So the Chiefs, they go ahead. There's been a lot of talk about them trying to move up to get Henry Ruggs. I don't know if this will actually come to fruition because they're going to have to do a lot to jump, and kind of makes sense if they can't get a deal done with Chris Jones. I mean, he's going to be getting a lot. We saw DeForest Buckner go for a first round pick, so I just kind of had to spice the deal up a little bit with them having to jump that far. So yeah, they go ahead, they just get more weapons. I mean, what, Watson, Sammy Watson, you also have Demarcus Robinson. They're on 1-year deals, so bam, you just add more speed. It's scary. Mekhi Becton, he stops his fall. He's here at 11. It's just rumored Joe Douglas, he was like, yeah, we need a dress receiver, but I would really like to upgrade the offensive line if I can. And he's already done it so much in free agency, and he has a history of just drafting in the trenches, so we're just going to go with that there. The Raiders, they go ahead, they get CeeDee Lamb. This is kind of one of the most popular mocks as well. It's just he is a Derek, not David, Derek Carr type of receiver, so we got see him going there. On to the next picks, and we got a couple of trades here too. Just stay with me. The New England Patriots, they trade up. They've been rumored to trade that they're one to trade up, and San Fran looks like the likely candidate to do that. They want to kind of return the favor for Jimmy G. This is all reported by Peter Keene, who he's pretty good when it comes to these draft rumors. So, but the thing is, they want to trade up if it's Tua fallen. I don't know if they'll do it for Herbert, but I just can't see where Herbert will go in this draft. It's really tough. So I have New England trading up for him. They're going to get the 13th pick, but they have to give up their 23rd pick, and to move up 10 spots, they're giving up Joe Thuney because I just don't think they'll be able to get a long-term deal done. So they go ahead, they get their potential quarterback of the future, or at least someone that could come in and be competition for Jared Stidham. The Dolphins, they move up now without their third first-round pick. They're going to go ahead, they're going to move up with the Bucks. The Bucks, they're going to get the 18th pick and the 70th pick from the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they get Andrew Thomas. They get their tackle because the reports are that the Dolphins were trying to make this trade with Detroit without having to give up the 5th pick. They were all about giving up their other 2 first-round picks, but they wanted to keep the 5th pick. So I assume they wanted to go quarterback tackle. Well, luckily they grab a very underrated Andrew Thomas, who is here fallen. They just come in, swoop in, become a hero. And then we have the Broncos. It's rumored they want to trade up for a wide receiver. Luckily, Jerry Jeudy is here for them. He's kind of fallen because of the knee issues that were flagged by some teams from like 2018. I don't think it's a big deal. I think a lot of that's just smoke, but I do think he won't be the first receiver off the board, and the Broncos, they get themselves some Jerry Jeudy. And then the Cardinals, they get Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma. Now, the two biggest names, if Arizona were to drop here, that I've kind of looked at was Javon Kinlaw, who he might fall because of knee issues. Knee issues kept him out of the rest of the Senior Bowl practices. He didn't perform, or he didn't participate in the combine because of it. So people might be worried about that knee. I think he will see a bit of a fall in the draft today. Kenneth Murray, he's had private meetings with the Cardinals, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. They get because do you think, what is it, Campbell that they brought in from Atlanta? No, he's on a 1-year deal. He was terrible in coverage. Kenneth Murray, at least he is a sideline to sideline athlete. So I think they bring in Murray. At 17, the Dallas Cowboys, they go Kayvon Chaisson out of LSU. It's tough to pass up on Javon Kinlaw, but like I said, the knee issues are kind of a concern. Plus, that's an area Dallas really addressed in the off season. So they go ahead. I could say you could consider corner here. Like, you got guys like AJ Terrell, Christian Fulton, but Kayvon Chaisson, he's gonna go in the top 20. It's just a matter of where, and I can see Dallas really loving them some Chaisson. So they just grab another athletic edge to play opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence. So you got Aldon Smith in there, you got Randy Gregory. So one of those guys they have to turn out and basically rise above the rest and become the running mate for DeMarcus Lawrence. So they go ahead and do that. Tampa Bay, they trade down, right? They go ahead, they get Javon Kinlaw. They get great value here. A guy who I think is a top 10 talent. Might fall because these stupid knee things, which a case can be made that it might be an issue, but it doesn't help that also he's probably one of the more raw prospects in this draft. But I love also the raw upside, the raw talent, the raw athleticism. So the Bucks, they just get a steal here while also picking up the 70th pick. Then we have the Raiders. I was kind of trying to make a trade down, but I didn't want to risk them not getting in a corner. So they get AJ Terrell out of Clemson. He's kind of a do-it-all corner. He can play your zone. He can play man if you want to. So now they got a pair of Clemson corners there. I like it. And then the Jags, another place where, they could trade down, but I think preferably if they were going to trade down, nah, it's not even going to happen. There is no preferably. So they get Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton, one of the best zone corners in this draft. He is capable of playing man, but he's a much better zone corner. The Jags, they run a lot of zone. They dabbled in man a little bit last year, and when they did, they were, I think, the top 5 in yards allowed when in man coverage. Like, as a good thing, not like they were giving up a lot, but they were like, I think in the bottom 10 or the bottom 5 when actually deploying man coverage. So I went ahead and just got a guy that I think would fit the coverage. And Christian Fulton is very underrated. He's still my number 2 corner. I don't know why he's going to fall. And then the Eagles, another candidate to maybe trade up, and I think they will make a move somewhere in this draft. I just, I had better deals. I think I had better deals elsewhere for other teams. So they get Justin Jefferson. He's the hot name if the Eagles stay put here. I was also considering guys like Jalen Reagor, Denzel Mims, because they met with those guys way more than anyone else when at the combine. They were checking out wide receiver. I think they were talking about the top 3 positions that they were looking at the most was wide receiver, defensive interior, and I want to say linebacker. But they're going to go ahead. They're going to get wide receiver. Justin Jefferson, he could do a lot of different things for the Eagles. I like that pick there. At 22, the Minnesota Vikings, they get Josh Jones. You just can't pass on talent, in my opinion. Josh Jones is phenomenal. He could be your tackle for the future. He doesn't have to start right away. he can eventually replace Riley Reef, and they need to get better in the trenches. They need to protect their new extended investment in Kirk Cousins. Jalen Reagor going to San Fran. They trade down. They grab speed. So Jalen Reagor is speed incarnate. I love him. I think his first round pick. Some people don't. Some people do. I'm a very much in the do camp for that. The New Orleans Saints, they go Patrick Queen. Rumor is they're trying to trade up too. They just don't really have a lot of the assets to do so, but they stay put here. They're able to get Patrick Queen, so good on you, Saints. Next, Minnesota Vikings back on the clock, and this is where things start to get wonky, and you see a lot of guys that might not have first round grades slip into the first round. So Brandon Ayuk, who I actually do have a first round grade on, going to the Vikings here. He's been the interesting name the last day of going to the Vikings late in the first round. I think preferably they'd like to trade back, because the rumor is they want to trade back, but this is the guy they want. So I went ahead and, well, at least from, this could be all smoke, but I'm going to go ahead and buy that this is the guy they want. Detroit Lions, I got them going ahead and getting Jordan Love. This is an extra pick. You got the guy you wanted at pick 5. You managed to trade down, grab some more pick, grab an extra first round pick you wouldn't normally have. So why not go ahead, just on a limb, just be like, hey, because typically you're drafting these guys and they're not gonna be immediate starters. They're not gonna have immediate impacts. So draft a guy you could potentially develop and start after a year. So yeah, you could kiss Matthew Stafford goodbye after this season. Hopefully this season goes well, and then start the Jordan Love era, I guess. So that's just my opinion. I think Jordan Love is definitely going to be somewhere in that first round discussion. He's probably going to be a name that ends up getting called around in the first round. Just a matter of who, and this one kind of made sense to me. The Seattle Seahawks, I think ideally they trade down. They probably will. I just couldn't really find a trade partner for that, but I got him getting Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia. He's been a hot name about going later in the first round. He kind of matches what the Seahawks like to do. They like their offensive linemen big, nasty, and punishing in the run. So Isaiah Wilson, you go get him. Jeremy Chin going to Baltimore here. He's another guy that's just got this ton of first round hype recently, and he was in my guys who will get overdrafted video, and I talked about he's getting first round hype, and it's kind of real, and I kind of see it just because the guy is such a disgusting athlete. Honestly, he may not have enough size, but he can play linebacker. He can do a lot of different things for your defense, and Baltimore, they're kind of in this new where they play positionless football. They're just putting athletes on the field. Their safeties last year outsnapped their linebackers by double. It was like 1,100 snaps. They like putting athletes on the field. Jeremy Chin's an athlete. I think he kind of falls into that category. And then the Titans, Denzel Mims. He's met with a bunch of teams. A handful of teams. And the Titans, they happen to be the only one that's like not in the top 15. So I'm going to go with, they're going Denzel Mims here. He's going to be in the first round. It's just a matter of, where. And you know what? Corey Davis, you tried. Most of the Titans tried. I think he'll be better elsewhere. I still think he's a good receiver, but needs a fresh start. They just paid Tannehill all this money. They need to invest in the Tannehill franchise. Just saying. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go ahead. They trade up. They trade up with the Packers. I was having a hard time figuring out what to do with the Packers, and I thought a trade down may be likely. So they go ahead. They're going to get this pick. They're going to get the 175th pick. Ends up being a 5th round pick. They're going to give the Packers their 2nd round pick and OJ Howard. Trade up, and they're getting Grant Delpit. Yes, they addressed the defense with both these picks, which is kind of like, oh, shouldn't they be building around Brady? They are, by investing in the defense. They just came out the draft with their first 2 picks being Delpit, who is a coverage monster, and Kinlaw, who is a pass rushing monster. I don't think you could do it much better than this. Jalen Johnson going to San Fran. Really wanted to trade back, but you know what? I was like, when you think about it, San Fran, they had 2 first-round picks, and how did they use them? Jalen Johnson, Jalen Reagor, Joe Thuney. I'm okay with that. I don't mind picking till the 5th round at that point. Jalen Johnson, he fits a lot of what San Fran likes to do in their coverage. He's a playmaker. It's 3 of his 7 career interceptions, touchdowns. Just saying, pick 6s. The guy's a monster. And then Ezra Cleveland here going to Cleveland. Haha. Rumor is they're really high on him. I don't think they would take him though at number 10. So being able to trade down, being able to get Chris Jones, they go ahead and get Ezra Cleveland. Trading down again was I kind of thinking about it. I was thinking maybe they could dish this for Trent Williams, but again, rumor is that they're really high on Ezra Cleveland. Right now, the over and under is 6.5 on offensive tackles that go in the first round. So it sounds like that we might be at 6 or 7 offensive tackles in this first round. And Ezra Cleveland, congratulations. You are now a member of the Cleveland Browns. I love that. Cleveland and Cleveland. Cleveland to Cleveland. Really nice. But that's it for the video. Go ahead to the YouTube thing. It's always much appreciated. Much obliged. Remember, I'll be here tonight for the live stream, the draft party. So bring all your, festivities. Bring all your chips, crackers, I don't know, salsa, chips and salsa. I like chips and salsa. And yeah, till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.